Hello people of the web and YouTube, welcome back to Hack Time! Whoa! So okay guys, today's video, as you could probably tell from the title, is going to be a little bit busy, it's going to be a little bit long, and I'm probably going to break it up into more than one episode, because I'm going to be, making more than one of these little Wi-Fi controlled relay things, and with that said, let us just get to this. First of all, the easiest place for me to think of starting this video is to, look at the code. Now, without the code, this whole project wouldn't function, and with that said, let's just take a good old look at this now. As you can see, this is the script I use, and I have a feeling I'm going to need to censor out a lot of this because there's a lot of personal info in here, especially my Wi-Fi address and my Wi-Fi password, and I don't really want you guys to be able to control this thing from where you're at or to, hack me, so I'm going to be filtering that out. But yeah, as you can probably see from right here, this is a example sketch. I actually didn't make most of this code. Most of the code just came from the example sketch for the board. And with that said, like with every other Arduino, you're going to need to follow the Arduino guide to, install the module. In my case, I used the Wemos D1 Mini. So what I did was I downloaded the Wemos driver, installed it, and then I went to the Arduino IDE, went under File, Preferences, and I added the line for the ESP module, and then I went to Tools, Boards, and then Board Manager, and basically just installed everything including the example sketches. Now, if you don't want to go and find this example sketch, which it's fairly easy to find here in the example list, just go for the first one that says Wi-Fi server. If you guys don't want to do that, I will probably link my code down below. Just know I'm going to be erasing my personal info from it. But yeah, with that said, let's take a look at how this actually functions. So okay then, the way that this works is it will sign into your Wi-Fi automatically as it boots up, because that's in the first line of the code. Now once that's done doing its thing, it will actually go and start initializing the GPIO pins. In my case, I chose pin mode 3, but by default in the example code it will be pin mode, I think 1, which is the RX pin, which you can use, but just know when you use it, the blue light will turn on, then your output will turn on, and then it's inverted, so you'll have that stupid notification light going on and off every time you turn on your device, which would be aggravating to some people, myself included. So I decided to change the pin to pin mode 3 because that's what worked out for me. And then after that, it connects to the Wi-Fi, and just to verify, you can hit serial monitor here if you had the board plugged in, and all this stuff will pop up in there telling you that it connected fine, and that's basically it. All the code tells it to do is the initialize GPIO pin, and if it hits a response from the URL being typed in, it will actually trigger that GPIO on and off. So yeah, code things aside, so where did this project actually end up going wrong? You may be wondering this. I actually did have problems with this project at first. The relay I ordered is specifically for a 5-volt source, and I'm using a Arduino Wemos D1 Mini, which can only output at 3.3 volts, so I thought that would be a problem. But I saw another user or another video that doesn't have many hits, and you can actually switch the relay over to 3.3 volts and then put your output pin to the relay through the signal pin, and it will work fine. And for those of you confused, I will be flashing up a diagram here on screen. I still have to make it, so I don't know how pretty the diagram's gonna be, but basically wiring this thing up is super simple. It's almost comparable to that of the button box. The only difference is we're just adding a switch to switch between one source input to another. And yeah, with that said, let's take a look at the box itself. As you can see, I got two inputs, or an input and an output. One side you connect your source voltage, in my case it's 5 volts at the moment, and on the other side that 5 volts will come out once the relay is triggered. In theory, if you get the right hardware, you can do AC in and then AC out, which I will end up doing sometime in the future, but considering the fact that I don't have hardware and I want this project to be as safe as possible to, beginners out there, I'm going to be just using DC voltage. But like I said, you can power from anything from 5 volts all the way up to 120. You just got to be wary of the amperage, because if you pull more than 10 amps through this, on 120 volts, it will catch fire or the relay will start smoking. But yeah guys, this video still isn't over yet, and I haven't showed you guys the thing actually working, so how about I show you guys with it working as I type in the URL. God, I cannot speak today, sorry. So yeah, let's hop over back to the computer here, type in GPIO/0, and by the way, I will be probably censoring this whole left side of the URL here, because like I said, this is all connected to my home router and I have it currently port forwarded in a really bad way, so I don't want to be hacked or nothing, so I'm going to be censoring that part of the code. But as you can see, as I put GPIO/0, if I give that second to refresh, the fan will turn on. You can probably hear it, so I'm going to go and turn that off just by hitting enter again on GPIO/1. And as you could probably tell code wise, I got things a little bit inverted. It's easy to fix, but I didn't bother with it because my app, I can easily just switch it on the fly anyway. And speaking of that, if you want to control this thing from your phone, all you do is you just put your source IP address in for the device, which you can get from the Arduino code. Let's bring that back up. It will tell you here at the top, server IP/GPIO/0. That's what you just type into the browser to get it work, and in my case it's 192.whatever, and you can get that by going to your Wi-Fi router page. Hopefully by the next video I'll make some more sense of what I'm trying to talk about here. But yeah, let's get back on topic. This thing is so simple, I've actually made my own app for it, and I will probably link it down below for those of you guys who want it. Just know this, I will be erasing the lines of code where I have my IP address in, so you'll have to go into the app, pre-compile it yourself, and put your code there if you want to use my app. But yeah, with that said, if you don't want to use an app to actually control this, there is a widget you can get. It's called Edit HTTP widget or something. You make a widget, you put your URL in that controls the WeMOS D1 Mini, and then you can hit on or off. And as you can see, I got 4 sets of buttons there. These 2 control it when I'm away from my house. These ones control it once I'm in my house. As you can see, if I hit the on here, it won't work because I'm currently at my place, so it's not going to control the fan. But yeah guys, before I leave today's video off, let's take one more look at this wiring mess. As you can see, I got a battery pack here with 2 outputs. One's currently powering the relay and the WeMOS D1 Mini, and the other one's currently powering the fan, but since there's a switch here, the fan won't turn on until I activate the relay to turn on the switch. So that's what all that's about. And if you take an even closer look inside of my messy wiring, you can see the WeMOS there and the relay lit up in red. And that's basically it. I know I could probably make it a little bit more refined, and I'll probably have to change the wire out to use it on AC, but for now I like powering it on 5 volts because believe it or not, I had this running probably for 4 hours straight now, and it's only just hit 84%, or 5 hours I should say, and it only got to 84%, and it's holding up pretty good. There are ways to prolong battery life, and I will be exploring them by part 2. Because there is a way to program the WeMOS to be put into sleep mode so that it doesn't continually drain power, and by the second one I will probably rip the LED off because that actually takes a lot of power out of this device. And well, speaking of power, I'll probably lose power any minute because if you can't hear, it's storming pretty bad, so I'm gonna leave this video off here. Hopefully by the next one I will build a better unit and have it actually plugged into the wall and show you guys how to do that safely. But for now, I hope I didn't overload your minds too much, and I hope some of this at least made sense. At least from my point of view, it made sense. But yeah, with that said, I'm gonna leave this off here, and like always, I will be linking any code that I showed off in the video, as well as the hardware used. That way you guys can go and make this thing before I make a build video. But yeah, for now, I'm gonna leave this off here. DTPK signing off. Peace. Now, like I said at the start of the video, if you want the wiring diagram, just go and watch part 1. These things can be really cheap to really expensive, and since I wanted it cheap as possible,